are really trying to change the systems that are serving our youth today, right? And the way that we are doing that is we are training therapists on how to do the techniques of hip-hop therapy. So that is huge in itself. But we are working with the young folks that have came up through our program to run the programs themselves. So Tomas and I are no longer even running the programs. There are youth that you saw in this film, they are doing the programs. So when you think of systems change, and you think of therapy, therapy is a very Eurocentric perspective, right? We have young men and women of color who are serving our young people in the community and healing and promoting healing. And it's a community identified strategy. And that's what hip hop is, y'all. It's a community identified strategy. The community is telling us what we need to do to heal our young people. And we're listening. And we're getting out the way. So that they can
I just got off the airplane, so I felt so tired. Look at comforting lies. I would imagine not that obvious. No, it's not what debating whether I wanted. I definitely need to change my age. So you
All right, give it up again for Malik Yoba and Beats, Rhymes, and Life. Big round of applause. So important to work with those brothers and doing in Oakland and San Francisco. Introduce has some very special words for us, all of us, our community, about how to transform those observations into obligations, how to mobilize this community into what we're trying to do with this petition. And I have a very special connection to the district he represents. My grandma lives in the Bronx right now. Probably about to go see her after this. She'll make me a plate or something, you know. My cousins, all my cousins are from the Bronx, so it's an honor to introduce Senator Gustavo Rivera.
Good evening, one and all. Again, my name is Gustavo Rivera. I'm a state senator for the 33rd District of Northwest Bronx. I love New York. And one of the best days that I had in New York City was one day when I was coming out of 14th Street on Union Square. And it was the middle of summer, and you had two big groups of folks. On one side, you had the capoeira folks, right? Y'all know capoeira? Yes. The Brazilian art form. And the reason, and the Brazilian art form that was developed, the martial art form that was developed as a dance that was performed in front of the slave masters. So slaves performed it in front of slaves, and that's how they designed this martial art. And on the other side, you had some breakdancers. And y'all know where that came from. Both of those, the moment the reason that was one of the best days that I've had in New York is because that moment, I connected those two. The appreciation that I had for the fact that both of these art forms came to be when you had a dearth of resources, when there was nothing there except what was in here. And the fact that you could see a wall, and it wasn't just a wall, it could be a canvas. And a street couldn't just be a street, it could be a dance floor. And like Malik said, you take electricity from a light pole and all of a sudden you have a party in a park. And all of these elements of hip hop, I would not have been able to appreciate that scene if it wasn't for Martha Diaz. Woo! So I want to give you a shout out to that. And it's the reason why I'm very happy and proud and honored to be here, invited to be among amazing people. And I will be very brief, but I just want to say that so I'm a state senator in the Bronx. I represent about 318,000 people up there. And I'm originally from Puerto Rico. I was born and raised there, but I came to New York, and I've been living in the Bronx since 2000. And it's been an amazing experience for me to grow in the way that I understand the world. A lot of it has to do with that appreciation that I have for what hip-hop is and what hip-hop can do. And so to be in a room like this with so many folks that are doing amazing work, I just came here to honor you, and I came here to thank you, and I came here to remind you that, like Martha said, we have this petition that we're trying to have, right? The White House established something when Obama became president, that it's an online petition that if you do enough people sign the petition, then the White House has to do a response. And at first it was like 5,000 people, but that happened really quickly. So they kept going up and kept going up, and now it's 100,000 folks. So we have to have 100,000 people sign a petition, and the petition, what we're trying to get is for the White House, for Obama to recognize hip-hop as an art form, and hip-hop as something that needs to be valued, much like we value jazz.
That's right.
And that is what, yes, you can give a hand out for that. So my job here is to remind you to do that. We will give you all the information that's necessary so you know how to go and get that petition. Share it with your networks, and we know how much your networks can do. We know how much our networks can do, so we need to get that out there, and we need to continue that. Hip-hop education, we understand how these things are connected. We understand how hip-hop can help us, and has already helped us, and helping us, as these folks that just came here just before me can attest, to help young people to make sure that we have just better communities and a better country and a better world. So with that, I would just say again that I thank you so much for the invitation. I'm honored to be here among you, and more than anything else, I look forward to the work that we will do together to make sure that we can make that petition a reality, but more importantly, to keep hip-hop alive every single day. Thank you so much.
South Bronx, South Bronx, South Bronx, South Bronx.
Hey, how you guys doing? How y'all feeling tonight? All right. I'm really honored to introduce this next presenter. This next award is very, very important. We talk about transformation a lot. Hip hop is about transformation. You know, shout out to Kendrick Lamar, Pimp a Butterfly, talking about that caterpillar to the butterfly. Let's give it up. There's a resurrection going on, right? Lyrics are back, substance is back, hip hop is back, right? Young people, this is resonating with us, right? We want substance, we want lyrics, right? And so the next person I'm gonna bring up, very important teacher, someone who's doing great work all around the city. Please join me in welcoming the person who is going to present the award for Best Transformative Model. Join me in welcoming Kene Holder. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm all formal. I want to thank everybody for being here tonight, for supporting and believing in this vision, because it's extremely important. Today is Veterans Day, but veteran to me means more than just people who fight in war. We all are warriors. We all have battle scars. Shout out to all the teachers represent right now. Social workers. Everybody is in the business of healing in this room. And we need this event to happen, because love is in need of love today. And so I'm here to honor the next awardee. Queuing up the phone. Let the beauty of what you love be what you do. And that's what all artists and educators are all about. So this presenter, honoree, lives by that. David T.C. Ellis. He's an artist, an activist, and an educator. David T.C. Ellis, the founder and CEO of Studio 4 and founder of the High School for Recording Arts, was born in St. Paul, Minnesota. He has been honored with being one of Prince's recording artists to also be able to produce and be one of the first artists to be a hip-hop artist within the Paisley Park recording studio, and also the founder of his own high school. Give it up, give it up. Give me 1 second. As I was saying, to record and produce records at Paisley Park. After time spent working with Prince and Warner Brothers, Mr. Ellis started an independent recording studio, Studio 4, and worked with a variety of traditional and alternative educational programs. Through musical work, with a number of young black men who had dropped out of high school, David discovered these young artists would often ask questions about how to copyright and publish their work. Guiding them through the process, Mr. Ellis realized that these youth could engage in educational processes while pursuing their career in music. With that realization, the High School for Recording Arts, HSRA, was born. David has recently been honored as an Oxford University, you heard it, Oxford University Roundtable Fellow for his work with Studio 4 and High School for Recording Arts. While at Oxford, David presented his work before leading educators around the world and to wide acclaim. And so, without further ado, can everybody please showing clip and then round of applause for David.
Hey, what's up? Twin Cities in the house. I just want to say, get educated. Hip hop is alive and well here in New York City. Thanks to Martha Diaz. I really appreciate your love, and I appreciate this town for this community, New York, bringing hip hop to my life and helping to save my life. Without that, I don't know where I would be. Again, I wanted to say, I am a veteran. I'm a veteran of the crack war. And hip hop saved my life. It's a true confession. Twin Cities, that's my rap name, came from the street. I was hustling, and I had a girlfriend. When you're from the Twin Cities, Minneapolis and St. Paul are split, but the girls can go back and forth, but the guys, you might get jumped or killed. So one day my sister had a barbecue, and her girlfriend brought her little sister over, and I fell in love with her, and I started going to Minneapolis. And if you were from St. Paul and you got caught over there, you could be trouble. So I got outside myself, and I got caught at the McDonald's with her one day. And all the guys, the toughest guys from the neighborhood, got off the bus from the roller skating rink, and they came to McDonald's and they said, "Ain't that nigga from St. Paul?" And it was about 10 or 12 of them. I was shook. And I had no business there. And so one of them got right up in my face this close, and he said, "Ain't you from St. Paul?" I said, "No." He said, "Where are you from?" I said, "I'm from the Twin Cities." He said, "Oh, you TC, right?" And he shook my hand. And I had some herbals on me, we smoked. And after that, I was cool. I was good to go in Minneapolis. So I had that visa to go back and forth between the Twin Cities, St. Paul and Minneapolis. They called me TC. Started out Twin Cities, that was my name. I brought it with me to the hip hop. It moved around, and like I said, I fought the crack war. But anyway, it all comes down to this. See, this here rap's about the true confession. If you listen close, you're about to learn a lesson. You must know failure before success. Now this is the failure, I must confess. I was hanging on the street trying to deal with this. Playing the games, almost got dismissed. Cocaine was a thing that I took on, and nowhere was a place that I was going. Now I must tell the truth, I cannot lie. I was headed for the kill, steal, destroy, and die. From the top to the bottom to the top. Success is where I'm headed, there ain't no doubt. Success is something that we all want, but the truth is what you need to reach that point. The truth is something you can't deny. Your only defense is to tell a lie. I had to get this message, the stone cold truth. I hope there's something in it that's there for you. Like I said before, I'm gonna tell you again, success is something that's deep within. So remember the truth. You can't go wrong. The flesh is weak, but the spirit is strong. I had to do this rap, and I know it's right, because I did it in the truth. I did it for the life. So it's a true confession. You check it out for your protection. The true confession. You listen close, you might make a connection. So that's my miracle. I heard the young man say he gets paid in miracles. That's what happened to me. I get paid in miracles. Because the High School for Recording Arts is truly a miracle. where we've been able to connect with our young people in the community. I know you guys by now know about Minnesota, but we get down. It gets tough over there. You know, so anyway, so our kids that are out there, they come because they're pushed out what I say is the traditional system hates on their genius because they're hip hop geniuses. And they come in there and we give them an opportunity because we want them to earn that high school diploma because they're going to need that in their life to be successful. And so the High School for Recording Arts is really an institution with an education design that's based on hip hop. And I think that's why it's so special, is that young people who are disenfranchised, who have really been suppressed, come there and they find their creativity, they find their hope, they find love and the opportunity to succeed. And I just want to thank my family for being here, both my brothers, my wife, Yakara, my partner, who's in Brooklyn, in the house. He's from Brooklyn, Anthony Simmons. He's the executive director at High School for Recording Arts, and he came from New York. He came to be my brother in Minnesota and help me with this project. And I love you, man. I love you just like my family. There's no difference. So I love New York too. And again, thank you for bringing hip hop to me. And much love.
Great. And the statues on campus be watching me. Washington, Jefferson, Williams, they be clocking me as if to say my time's up. But I don't run laps on track. See, I run laps around the scholars of tomorrow because their new schools of thought, merely our history's borrowed. And they label me militant and black national radical. Yo, they trying to put my learning process on sabbatical. But I don't apologize. I spit truth into those eyes that have been infected by those lies. Then they try to get me to see their point of view from a cat that looked like me, but he don't walk like me, talk like me, or act like me. And homie started running when I asked if he was black like me. Mastering their thoughts and forgetting our own, and you wonder why we always feel alone. From the media to academia, hanging brothers like coats. That's why in these schools, I take 2 sets of notes. 1 set to ace the test, and the other set I call the truth. And when I find historical contradictions, I use that first set as proof that black youth's minds are being polluted and convoluted and diluted and not culturally rooted in anything except the Western massacre. That's why most of us in school, shit, we were scared of Africa. We viewed our mother's land through the eyes of racists like David Hume and Immanuel Kant. No, not knowing Immanuel Kant tell me shit about a land he's never seen. A land rich with history, beautiful kings and queens. But they had us believe otherwise. Their history built on high-rise lies. They're not going to teach you. The history they taught was built on high-rise lies. They're not going to teach you that the pyramids were completed before Greece and Rome were conceptualized. Then they're going to claim that the Egyptian race was a mystery. Don't believe them. Read Herodotus, book 2 of the histories. Can it be any clearer? Look in the mirror. You are a reflection of divinity. Don't ever let them fool you with selective memory. Walk high. Listen to the elders who spoke. Always take 2 sets of notes. Right. We're going to keep this thing going. We're going to keep this thing going. Y'all getting me hyped up in here. So,
especially on this Netflix show called The Get Down being filmed in the Bronx.
I'm here because I met somebody about 10 years ago when I first got to NYU. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm David Kirkland, professor of English and Urban Education here at NYU. Yeah. I'm also the executive director for the Metropolitan Center on Research, Equity, and the Transformation of Schools here at NYU. And I've been blessed and privileged enough to have the Hip Hop Education Center as part of my center, for this year. So I want to give it up to somebody I met about 10 years ago, Martha Diaz, who has been a stalwart and warrior for hip-hop education, and not only hip-hop education, but for kids whose schools traditionally disserve. So let's give it up for Martha. Martha, let me just say y'all a secret. Like, I haven't met anyone as sold out for hip-hop as Martha. And I haven't met anybody as sold out for young people as Martha. And when you put those two things together, we get what MK just called a movement. And so I want to thank Martha for her spirit, for her energy, for her vision. She's kept the vision of hip-hop education alive for a long time. For me, the work is personal. And this award is personal. When we see every day on TV screens and our social media feed the consequences of being black and brown in this country, we understand how important hip-hop education is. Yeah. I think it was Steve Biko who said, the most potent weapon of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed. Carter G. Woodson said, if you control a man's thinking, you don't have to worry about his actions. You don't have to tell him to go out the back door. He'll go without being told, and if there is no back door, he'll cut one out for his own special benefit, for his education that's made it necessary. What hip-hop and education has done, it's reclaimed a particular voice, a perspective that's pointed at the most disadvantaged students inside of our schools. It's given us a vocabulary and a language to learn on our own terms. It's insisted that education can be for us and by us. Today it gives me great pleasure to introduce Toki Rivera. Toki is a Twin City, give it up. Toki is a Twin Cities-based MC, poet, and community organizer. He is the newest artist on Rhymesair Entertainment. Wright has been featured on recordings by Atmosphere, C. Ray's Walls, POS, and more. His performance credits include Scribble Jam, South by Southwest, Coachella, Bummershot, Sons, Devere, and Perry Home Companion. Wright tours throughout the United States and Canada as an opening act and hype man for Brother Ali, and is member of the groups, the Core, the Chosen Few. As a community organizer, Toki has led the nationally recognized youth organization Yo, the Movement, featured in the Source magazine, coordinated 7 Twin City celebrations of hip-hop festivals, and taught hip-hop history and performance to former child soldiers in Gulu, northern Uganda, with the organization HEALS. Toki's many awards include winner of the Twin Cities Hip Hop Awards in 2007, Artist of the Year, KMOJ Radio in 2006. In 2003, he was Artist of the Year, Star Tribune, a Minnesota Music Award nominee for Best Hip Hop Recording, and landed in the top 10 Albums of the Year, Star Tribune. He has appeared as a coach on MTV Made. 2 of his songs with the group, The Core, are featured in the film Justice, which was nominated for an NAACP Image Award. Let's take our time and give it up for Toki Rivera.
Classes, we try to look beyond just teaching out of textbooks, but instead giving students real life experience on the entrepreneurial side as well as the academic side. Being talented is not enough. You have to know how to survive and make a living in the business of music.
Now let's give it up for Toki Rivera.
Much appreciated, much appreciated. Greetings, 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 greetings. I want to say how much I'm humbled and honored to be in the room, not just with legends, but with every single person in this room that actually believes that hip hop is a real, viable, beautiful thing that helps our communities actually be the best that they can possibly be. So I want you to give a round of applause to yourself for continuing to do the work that needs to be done. That bio was from like 2007, so. I want to say I have a great appreciation for hip hop. Hip hop, it literally has saved my life and has literally saved the life of many people that I've grown up around and many of the young people that I continue to work with to this day. And I have had an opportunity to work with young people everywhere from small town Minnesota, 2 hours outside of the city where no one comes to speak to them about what they really feel is important. I've been able to go out to Kenema and Freetown, Sierra Leone, and work with young people that are going through similar, not exactly the same, but similar issues. When do we actually get an opportunity to say what we believe and for it to be respected and for it to be accepted? And being able to carry into this new tradition of bringing hip hop into higher education is one of those great opportunities for us to continue with the lineage and to continue the idea that this is something serious and real and viable and that it will survive long beyond when we're here, because that's what this is about. I really feel like this day today is not about us. It's not about just doing this for us today, but it's about what happens after we're gone. And will we be able to carry forward a legacy of truth? And we live in a world today where there's so much information, we don't know the difference between what's real and what's fake. We don't know who's lying to us and who's telling us the truth. And if we can take young people, whether they're in middle school, high school, or they're entering college, and say, well, what do you think? That's one of the big questions that I was never asked when I was in high school or when I was in middle school or when I was in elementary school. What do you think? What do you think about that? Do you think you should live that way? Do you think that those are the types of relationships that we should have with each other? Do you think that you should be the poorest just because of where you live? Do you think that you should not have the opportunity to grow? Do you think that if you made a mistake that there's no way for you to ever become better? And that's what hip hop allows us to do. It allows us to be able to have real conversations and really become the people that, the potential that we have. And I want to thank all of you for continuing to do that work. At McNally Smith College of Music, it's one of those opportunities where the reason I'm even there is because we did work in the street, right? It doesn't, you know, the collegiate level, all of that's important. That's very important, but it doesn't work unless it works on the street level, because it's never going to be taken seriously. And one of the things I want everybody in this room to know, and I want to shout out T.C. Ellis, and it's crazy that two people from Minnesota are having a conversation about hip hop. Right? Dinner dates, Twin Cities, thank you, Mom. Thank you very much. The fact that we could come from such a small area of the country where nobody really pays much attention to us, and Chris Rock says that ain't no black people from there except Prince and Kermit Puckett. And the fact that we could grow and become something that is actually thought to be taken seriously, it means a lot. And I want everybody here to understand that we want to be connected to you. Your people that live in smaller towns want to be connected to you. We want to have that relationship. And our doors are open for you to come see us, and we hope that our doors are open and continue to come back and see you. Thank you, Martha. Thank you, everyone here. Much appreciated.